Hey, all you assholes, come and listen to us. It's the Keith and the Girl Show.
And that was the cancer lung test. So Chemda's doing okay so far.
I'm still breathing.
Right. Welcome, everybody. Today's guest was on Access TV's Gotham Comedy Live, Comedy Central's Live at Gotham, Comedy Central Presents, Inside Amy Schumer, Conan, Wendy Williams. It's a male comic, but you're going to like him.
They seem like female credits.
Mike Vecchione, how you doing?
Thank you. Thank you for having me, guys.
What was the Wendy Williams show? What did you do?
I paneled. It was... I forget what I did. No, it wasn't paneling. It was...
Fall fashions?
It was breakup stories. You had to go on and tell your breakup story or what somebody did to you. That's really what it was.
On the actual on an episode?
On an episode, I went up with a bunch of other guys, and you just told your story.
Did you come off bad?
I didn't really watch it.
Yeah?
To be honest.
You weren't curious?
I don't know. Like, I just did it, and then I did it as a thing, like, let me just do it to get it on TV.
Did you come off bad, like, at the studio?
No, I think it went well, but it was just... I don't know where you got that. It was a weird thing to include in my...
I know everything. Does the ex call you after and say, it didn't go down like that?
No, not at all.
So they only interviewed one side of the breakup?
Yeah, that's the best, load it that way.
Well, she's into gossip. She doesn't have on Will Smith when she calls him gay.
Does she do that? Does she call Will Smith gay?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, she doesn't mind. Less so now that it's on TV as opposed to the radio.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, she'll still throw in a wink when she's talking about Will Smith.
Go, how you doing?
Right.
All right.
Mike is fresh off of therapy, just came from a session.
Yes. Talking about my feelings. That's what I do.
What's the big issue right now?
It's really just balance, gaining balance, and being able to maintain balance.
Like a bad inner ear thing.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Equilibrium is what we're talking about.
How's your balance?
No, it's good. I just need certain strategies in order to stay
balancing. What
balanced.
Relationship and work, or what?
I don't have a relationship, so it's just work and being able to stay sane in the business.
Okay, in this topsy-turvy world.
In the topsy-turvy, not being too taken out of, just remaining steady. Just keep working, basically. Chop wood, carry water. You guys know what I'm saying?
I hear you. I hear you.
Therapy is great because obviously, you get to let it out. It's somebody that you can trust that it won't leak into, your day-to-day life, and then you have to
Right, like on a
deal
podcast. You wouldn't be talking about that kind of a thing on a podcast. Hint, hint.
The thing is, it's like usually 45 minutes to an hour, and then they release you, And
Right.
to me, like, every time I go, I need, like, to walk around for a half an hour or...
Feed the pigeons.
Feed the pigeons.
Something therapeutic.
Yeah, like maybe listen to music, smoke a joint, whatever it is.
Right.
Do you need that time afterwards? Or
No, it just depends on the session. But I'm I just realized, like, I'm an introverted guy pretty much for the most. So for me to, like, cry and bear, like my father passed away in December. So then, like, for a couple sessions there was tears. You know what I mean? But usually it's not. I'm just, like, trying to understand myself better. Like, I use him, he's very good, so use him as a tool to try to, like, understand myself better and then take those strategies out into life and, try to live a better life.
Do you find it working?
Yes.
That's awesome.
I recommend it to anybody.
Because you're introverted, do people think that you're mad at them a lot or maybe misunderstand your feelings?
Let me clarify. I'm introverted in the sense that I like quiet time. I just, Dan Soder is my roommate, great guy. We just took a psychological test. He's like extroverted, I'm introvert. You could tell the difference, you know what I mean? I still need to be around people and all that stuff. So I'm not like a weirdo who lives in a basement somewhere who needs to be alone constantly. But
because stand-up would be tough, right?
Yeah, stand-up would be
tough.
Shut
up! Yeah. We're clapping, Mike. Stop it!
You guys, stop looking at me.
He always does it from backstage.
Yeah.
What's the difference? I'm here.
I guess it's all a sliding scale, introvert to extrovert. But I'm introverted in that, according to this test. But I get it. I could see it.
Well, BuzzFeed is always right, so I'm glad you guys figured that out.
It was a well-established test.
In 2 weeks, you're going to Korea.
No, I'm going on Tuesday for 2 weeks.
Tuesday for 2 weeks to Korea.
Korea, Japan.
Okay.
For the U.S. bases.
That's a different kind of Korea.
It's hopefully South Korea. If they're sending me to North Korea, I'll see you in 8 years because I'll be in a fucking work camp.
Have you done that before, performing for troops?
No. Never did it.
Are you nervous at all, or like?
I'm nervous about I have to figure out where I'm going. Like the places, like I don't know where I'm going at all.
But you're not flying.
I'm
the
going
plane.
to JFK,
Right.
and I'm going to get on, and then wherever it lands, we'll figure it out.
You might want to know one or two rules about that country that might be different from yours.
It's
Yeah.
America.
Yeah.
He's going to be around.
Well, I know from that
Americans.
Singapore thing is they're not big on graffiti unless you want a couple of bamboo lashings.
But when you do it and not get caught, so worth it. So
You're one of those guys. You do it for the rush. That suck my dick in purple paint really paid.
I tape hash to my stomach when I get on the plane, but I throw it right in the garbage on the plane. It's just for the scariness.
That's a different lockup abroad. It's like I'm not even transporting it for anybody. I just like the rush.
The airports are so boring. Just make your way around.
I don't know why I'm even picturing this, but we put up a poll the other day. We have polls related to each show, and we asked the audience, "Are you a hypochondriac?" Why do I think you are in a way? Are you?
Am I?
Yeah.
No, because I do have anxiety, and I'm not an impulsive guy. Everything's pretty thought out.
Okay.
So, but no, actually, I'm not that much of a hypo. I know guys who are way worse than me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you have a bit of it?
I have a bit of it, but now I'm to the point where I realize what's happening. Like before, when I was younger, sexually, I would always think that I had a disease, even if I wore a condom. I was like, she gave me a disease. I would have I don't know if that's massive trust issues. I don't know what it is, but I would always, because it's just crammed down your throat. It's like disease. You'll get a disease. You'll get like it was just like shoved down my throat. So
Do you think about it during sex or only right after you're washing
no,
it off in the sink?
I used to think about it before, during, and after.
Really?
Fun.
Yeah.
Catholic?
Unless I was in a
Like this?
I was in long-term relationships. I didn't think about it at all then. But just any kind of casual situation,
Right.
yeah, I would be constantly like, this kills the mood, by the way, if you ask her if she has AIDS right before you have sex with her. Do you have AIDS? I'm just checking. Do you have AIDS? Do you have AIDS? Do you have AIDS? Do you have AIDS?
HIV
Do you have
counts.
AIDS?
How
Do you
about
have
now?
AIDS?
How about now?
Yeah, how about now? Do you have AIDS now? Do you have AIDS?
You just came. Does that give, did you just release some AIDS?
Well, no. What would happen was she would.
Don't scream so
the
loud.
woman
The
would-
AIDS might come out.
The woman would go to sleep, and I would just be next to her, being like, "I know she has AIDS." Because if she didn't have AIDS, she would be up worried that I gave her AIDS. But she's sleeping, which means she had AIDS. She gave it to me, and now she's getting some solid sack time.
Because that's what AIDS does.
That's what AIDS. You can relax. Once you have AIDS, you just relax.
It's like, what's that movie?
The Ring.
She gave you AIDS. Now she can sleep.
Yeah.
It's so funny because I could see him like, oh, you know what? She's not going to tell me if she has AIDS. I'm going to wait until she sleeps. And then he whispers in the ear, okay, do you have AIDS? Please talk in your sleep. Please talk in your sleep.
Would you wash your dick off in the sink?
That doesn't do anything.
You got to wash the AIDS
That doesn't
off.
do anything. No, I know that doesn't do. Medically, that doesn't do anything.
Yeah, but there's
Does
level
it?
of no, of course not.
But maybe it
there's
does.
levels of
Purell, I've heard Purell, guys. Purell, the penises afterwards. But none of that works. Once you do it, you're exposed to whatever disorders the other person has, including emotional.
Well, think about it. Let's say a woman fingered herself, puts it in your mouth, and if soon after you take mouthwash, you probably got rid of something, right?
Nope.
No?
No, I don't think that medically works.
No.
I don't see how it could not work. Why would that not help?
I don't know if it'll help. I don't know if it'll stop anything, though. I'm not
saying
doctor.
that you use it for sexual protection.
No, you can't.
But to be
you
so
can't wash AIDS off. No.
Of course you can. You fuck something. You have something physical on you, and you wash it off. That helps.
No.
No, not at all. Okay.
I don't know if it. I hear what you're saying. I hear
There's
the argument
no
that
way
you're
it
making.
helps. You have juice
It might
on you,
help.
you
I
wipe
don't.
it.
I don't
Yes.
know.
No, if it is a way that it goes into your bloodstream and it got to that way, you
No,
can't
but we're talking about
undo.
anything. He's talking about not just AIDS, but any kind of exposure to anything.
Right.
If you're exposed,
It's a virus. I don't know how viruses really work.
This doesn't matter because we're all just saying silly shit.
I'm not.
No, Keith really believes it.
Of course I believe it. If there's mud, like what did I read fairly recently? There's one of these mud runs, and there was horse shit in the mud.
Right.
So if you get the mud on you, it might help if you wash it off.
I don't think AIDS works like mud.
Okay, you're stuck on AIDS, and you think
no, I
Other
thought that's-
STDs. What about HPV? What about herpes? What about genital warts?
I don't think that it spreads the same as mud. I just really don't.
Well, it depends on the
then
nature of a virus,
Well,
like
let me
what gets rid of a virus and what doesn't.
Well, let me tell you guys. You know what? Chemda's so short, then don't wash it off. There you go.
The diseases that you just got from sex?
Just soak in it.
You're right. Wash it off.
No, why wash it off? You stinky bastards. Why aren't you taking a shower anyway? It's disgusting.
Well, right afterwards, you usually sleep the night through, which you're right. Then I guess it festers and creates, a whole microcosm.
Ever since Chemda goes to the hospital every day, she thinks she's a doctor. She's so sure. No way washing.
She did dismiss you fast. She's like, no, stupid, no.
And
You heard all my inner monologue?
Hear it. We saw it. So I started explaining again. You see her head go.
That's how you can tell you're in the military. Just wash your dick off. Fall back into line, you fucking moron.
We asked the audience, are you a hypochondriac? 17% are, if you're curious.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's tough because, and don't listen to this hypochondriac, because you always can have something.
Just wash it off.
Wash it off. But no, but it's like guys wake up and it's like, I have back pain. Do you think that's cancer? Like, it's like crazy stuff. It's like, do you think I have something like deadly? It's always, they think it's the deadliest thing.
But you can't, if you're a hypochondriac, you can't go out and have fun, can you? Like, could you go to a concert and not just freak the fuck? I was at a concert last night, and if I'm a hypochondriac and everybody's bumping into you, never mind their drinks are spilling on you, who knows what's in there after they took a sip.
And I believe it's a progressive disease, so it doesn't get any better. It just gets worse and worse until you find yourself alone scrubbing yourself every other minute.
Yeah, it's like a mental. Yeah, it's a mental block. You're screwed. You're gonna have a terrible. You have to get past that. These people should be going to therapy. This is what they need. They need to go to therapy. If you're a hypochondriac, you can't enjoy your life.
Yeah.
Right.
At all. You know what I mean? You need to be able to enjoy your life.
That's
another thing I'm working on.
Enjoying?
Yeah, the issue of like living with a little bit of ease and trying to enjoy my life a little bit, not being so like work, make be a little playful.
Has your therapist given you homework like take a day off, see how you feel?
Yeah, I actually probe him for like mindset, like what mindset. Because I think it's a lot about mindset. It's a lot about what you focus on.
Yo, doctor, how do I be playful? I need to be more playful.
If I'm focusing on germs all the time, of course I'm going to think I'm going to. It's just what you focus on.
Right.
That's a lot of it. That's what I'm on now. Focus.
I should have stopped focusing on my tumor.
Well, speaking of people, so I'm at this concert last night, and it's Buckcherry and the Candlebox. Don't be jealous.
All right.
And then during later on in the Buckcherry set, these people in front of us kind of start a mosh pit, but the one guy they don't.
But they're all 40.
They don't seem to understand where the pit ends, and one guy would just be flopping backwards, and he flops into me, and the third time he did that, he hits my beer, and I deliberately pour more on his back.
Oh, nice.
That's my new move.
That's nice.
He turns around, and I mean it was a nice amount, and he turns around, and
it's worth the $20 beer.
Right. It's I probably poured $2.50 on him.
It's your sub ride home.
And he turns around.
Right.
And what the fuck? And I go, sorry? And he points to his, we can't really hear that person, but he points to his back.
You're moshing. What are you pointing at?
To say beer spilled on it. And again, I go, sorry? What do we do? And he just turned around again and then starts jumping around, and it happens again and again.
And you keep pouring stuff?
Yeah, keep pouring it right down his shirt.
So he goes to the bar and gets 2 beers, one for the moshers, one for him.
So he got drunk through osmosis. He probably got drunk through his skin. Didn't even notice.
That's why he kept bumping into you. He goes, oh, I think I feel something.
Right.
I'm getting tipsy off this guy. Were you ready to fight, though? Because that's not a thing that you could... No?
They're like hippies over there.
Oh, yeah?
You would think, by the way. Yeah.
With these bands, yeah. It's all mostly 40-years-olds, right?
They're all
Mosh pit turns into a prayer circle.
Right. But you would think, see, these places, everybody, when you bump somebody, this is the way I see it. At a rock or metal concert, for the most part, everybody's cool. It's just easy. And it's a shame you have to say, I bumped into somebody and it didn't become a big deal. What a great day. But I told you, I'm at Paul McCartney. You would think it'd be the opposite. But it was all assholes I was around. I'm standing up when Paul McCartney comes out and it's like, can you sit down, please?
That's so weird.
I'm like, it's Paul McCartney and tickets are $300. No. Fuck you, I can't.
That is really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I could see them being like a very prim
Yeah.
and, because they're older.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And then he started pouring beer down my back.
I found out it was a great idea.
Buckcherry, if you know their albums, they did the entire 15 album. And then they play it out of order. And I'm like, I didn't know you can do that. I thought you had to follow the rules. So it was still a nice surprise. You didn't know what necessarily was coming next.
Is that a thing? Because when you said they did one of those, album shows,
Yeah.
Danny was like, oh, one of those. Is that a thing that people do where they just, ahead of time they're going to do their whole album? I know I don't know how people feel about that, but that sounds really fun.
Well,
Are people usually disappointed or they usually like it? Okay.
Obviously, they picked a good album. They don't spin a wheel.
Right.
I don't know.
That's
I thought,
true.
People just want especially with Buckcherry because it's been a while, so they had time to maybe accumulate a best of situation.
Sure.
I thought maybe people would be disappointed by not having the one song from another album. You know what I mean?
Well, when I do my set off my comedy CD, I really like to mix it up.
I like how he
for
rolls
the
his eyes at him. He rolls his eyes
Roll it for the fans.
at himself.
I just bring it back to me. Well, when I do a set, I'm comparing myself to Buckcherry. When I do a set for my comedy fans, I mix up the tracks so that they're not bored, and my transitions are really edgy.
And then he's going to go into his mom. Oh, he didn't. It was the subway.
Oh, man. Left turn to airplanes are crazy, aren't they, folks? I mean, come on.
Candlebox opened with...
You.
No.
Oh.
But they
Far
did-
Behind.
They played You and Far Behind, of course, so you're not out of line.
Which one's you?
The
You.
song. Yeah.
Like that.
Oh, Only You. Is that
Yeah.
them? All right.
Yeah.
So they started with the song Stand, and a lesser-known song, but I loved it. And it's fun when I don't know what the band's going to play. They didn't have time to come up with the greatest hits albums because that's a later song that includes that. My point being, I'm like, I knew I was right. I knew that was a great song.
Oh.
Me and everybody agreed.
Wow.
I guess that's what concerts are for.
Yeah.
We knew this was good. We're all here because we thought that.
Right. But when
Did
it's...
you feel unified with the other concert goers?
No.
No, you didn't?
No, because I don't... You look around, it's like sometimes they don't get it. For example, Buckcherry will sing a "fuck you" song, so you see these people are giving the middle fingers, and then later a song dedicated to somebody's death, and the guy says, big fan is here. It's actually the twin sister of this person who just died. Anyway, this song, and then the audience members are still like, that didn't register. Fuck you. I'm like, all right. Okay.
They're not getting that the band changed the energy.
Yeah.
I
They're
see.
still on the first.
But Keith keeps pouring beer on everybody, so they're just
That's
trashed. What does he want?
That's
Right.
true.
How much beer did you lose in this concert?
Just, I'd say 325 total.
All right.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Oh, it was worth it.
Oh.
Yeah. Another poll we had was in reference to the movie Snowden, which I saw.
How was that?
Fantastic. He's a superhero.
Really?
Yeah. And I think they tackle all sides. I loved it. But you wonder, as the movie goes on, is he a paranoid guy, this kind of thing? And he would cover his girlfriend's laptop camera with tape, knowing the government can go through that even if it's not on. The FBI director, right now in present day, just said last week, yes, cover your screen. That's just common sense.
Is it just common sense? I mean, I do it anyway because I'm paranoid.
Have
but
you cover your...
Yeah, I cover my screen.
Really?
Yeah.
So I put out the poll, is there tape on your laptop camera right now? And I wanted to be clear, not because you heard the Snowden stuff I was saying. Do you already have your camera covered? 26% of our audience does.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a thing.
It's not. I thought I was the only one who did it, one of the only people who did it. But yeah.
I thought
I was
everybody
paranoid.
does it but me because I'm careless and I keep going oh yeah, I should put a thing on my computer and then time passes.
Well, you do stuff naked on purpose.
Oh
I would
yeah.
assume.
Oh yeah. I ask for it every day. Yeah.
I mean, I have that big Xbox camera in my living room. It takes, the Kinect.
Right.
It takes the whole room. I masturbate in there like it's nothing. I got to put something on that fast.
At least a little background music or something. You know what I mean?
You saying that is very encouraging to someone.
Well, go to connect.com/Keith. And it's what can I tell you? Whoops, you caught me again. I'm there 6 to 8 every evening. Oh, geez, you got me again.
You're a guy who masturbates on a schedule.
It's visiting hours.
Yeah.
There's a American flag behind me, Bose speakers.
It's the anti-Kaepernick. It's like, not only will I stand at the liver.
Let me mention this Vistaprint. Get 500 business cards for $9.99.
That's it?
That's it.
Oh, my God.
$9.99. We use them. You design your own cards. You can use the Vistaprint's templates if you're overwhelmed, but it's not overwhelming. That's the beauty of it. We're not artists. We design our own cards every single time. And you can change the picture anytime you want on it. 500 for less than $10. What do you think of that?
I think that you don't have to have, if you have commitment issues, it's a worrisome thing. This card will represent me 100%. This is where your no worry spot is. Because if you get it and you're like, oh, this is exactly what I didn't want, and I feel like it's corny even though I designed it myself, send it back. Their customer service is amazing. This is a no-risk situation.
If you have a business, you need business cards.
If you have a personal relationship with anybody.
But think about the business. I heard somebody the other day, they said, aren't business cards antiquated? They're old. How are they old? I've talked to people, and I go, hey, give me your information, and let's talk about having you on this show. And they didn't have a card. They wrote it on a napkin, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to notice this napkin in my pocket. I get home, I go, where's this fucking napkin in my pocket? I threw it right in the garbage.
Right.
Business cards.
Before you get in trouble with your wife. What's his phone number on a napkin?
Right.
Bringing home from a bar. Get the fuck out of here.
And, of course, even if you don't even have a business, write on the card 500 times, you're cute, what do you say? And pass that out in bars.
That's a good idea.
500 chances.
That's really
for
a good
$9.99.
idea.
Or for $14, you can buy a stranger a martini and hope she goes home and doesn't ask for
No,
two.
the card's a better idea, especially if you're an introvert.
Right. 500 business cards.
You could have a bunch of them. I have your daughter.
Yeah, you can do anything.
We're not encouraging all these ideas, but some of them.
For $9.99.
$9.99.
500 custom business cards, $9.99. Visit Vistaprint.com. Design your custom business cards. Enter code KATG at checkout. That's code KATG. This is a chance to get that professional look on any budget, so don't wait. Go to Vistaprint.com and order today. All right? Now, let's bum everybody out. It's Chemda's cancer update time.
I don't have cancer.
Right, okay. It's Tumor Tuesday.
Thank you. I had to go in for more blood work. I have been in this hospital every day this week. I got a Band-Aid on still. And so I go into the doctor's office. He's got to give me, get this, before you go into surgery, they give you 3 different things of soap because you got a soap 3 days before, 2 days before, and the morning of with a specific soap, or you have a bigger chance of getting pneumonia.
Oh, that's so weird. So you're saying washing does, in fact, help.
Wow.
That's weird.
Yeah, now I'm not going to get AIDS in the hospital.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Pneumonia is different than AIDS, though. I hate to point that out.
I don't think so.
No, it's the same?
Yeah, of course.
I'm just saying my washing idea is like, oh, all of a sudden that's going to end racism, Keith. I'm like, it's just an idea.
Well, you should just put a hashtag to it so I could believe it a little stronger. That's all. I'm just asking to be loved.
3 different kinds of soap.
3 of the same soap, but this is so weird. It made me nervous.
Do you think they're fucking with you? Because one of these soaps has to be a seashell shape. Isn't that weird? One has to be a football shape. Like, they're just messing with you.
They gave me a grapefruit, a bowling ball, and a football.
That's great if they were messing
Yeah,
with you.
That would be amazing. Yes.
You need blue soap. Then you need
You know what's also weird? They're sending me scrubs ahead of time.
to see if you, well, because you're a woman and you might complain they don't fit. So there's a second fitting that you show up to.
Oh, great. I didn't even think I had
Try
to
it
worry
on.
about my ass size in this. I had no idea, but thank you. So we go to get more blood work. And so he goes, nothing, just 3 vials, no big deal. So I'm joking around with the, I forget what their names are, the technicians that take the blood.
Humorless is their name.
Actually, yes.
Of course.
Were they? No sense of humor?
They usually are. It's very interesting. And I try to joke with them, and they really, really don't get it. And so this place is just all that. Like, they just take these tests, EKG, things like that. So she's going in. What was my point here? Oh, yeah. So I go, can you believe you could just take 3 vials at me? And she goes, LOL, they lied to you.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, you know you have a needle like draining blood in me right now.
Wow.
And I'm like, oh God, 2 or 3 times the amount. She's like, nah, it's not that bad, 5 vials. But it's just, you know,
Right.
she's not laughing at my jokes, but she's telling me her jokes.
Right.
So that's a little balance.
Why would they lie about something that insignificant? It's like
Right.
3 to 5. Just tell me 5.
Yeah, I don't
It's
think
not going to affect me
I
that
think
much.
they said it in passing, and it wasn't such a bit. Like, what's the difference if I need 3 or 10 vials? I don't understand I don't even look at it.
Right.
I'm just like, you do your thing over there, and let's just move on with our lives.
They only need half a vial. But, you know, I mean, if they need more while you're there, give it. You know.
Right. What's the difference? You
Might
could
as
live
well
without
5.
it. Yeah. I don't know what I'm doing with all this blood in my system when I could live with vials and vials of it.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
Without it. And also, I had to take a urine test, and
Yeah.
right, and I don't know.
Were you ready?
Yes, I was.
Okay.
I was very excited about that. I'm ready now if anyone needs it. But I realized I got my period that morning, and for some reason, I'm like, does
Best
this
of both
matter?
worlds, blood and urine.
They can
Same time.
More
extra
vials.
If you can ejaculate too, they'd be able to fix everything.
But I don't know, it never occurred to me. I never took a pee test while I'm on my period. So suddenly you just kind of like, you want to ask, right? It might seem silly because what does it have to do with it? Or they would have mentioned it, but
Right.
maybe they forgot.
What does pink and yellow make?
Pink and yellow?
Yeah,
Kool-Aid,
Kool-Aid.
I
okay.
think.
Maybe an orange-ish.
Right.
A very bright orange.
So you're afraid it's going to look like pink lemonade?
It's not even what I'm afraid it's going to look like. It's,
The effect it's going to have.
I don't-
Like, is it...
again, that's probably sounding very stupid to people, but who knows? So I lean in to the woman who gave me the cup because I'm still in the waiting room, and I go, and I don't care. I'll talk about my period, but you know, there's people there, and people get uncomfortable. So I lean in and I go, "Hey, does it matter if I have my period?" I swear to God, she goes, "Well, it doesn't matter to me."
That's really funny.
Because I don't think I'll.
She was serious.
I don't think I'll.
She
get,
looked at me like I'm crazy. Sorry, go. You don't think what?
Nothing.
All right. But she was really, really serious.
It doesn't matter to me.
And I paused. I'm like,
Do you take these vials home? What are you doing with my vials?
right. I go, yeah, I didn't mean personally. I was like, for this test. And she goes, how am I supposed to know? Ask your doctor.
Oh, my God, that's great.
She
Where
said,
am I?
"Well, you can't be too cranky, but if you can control it, I'll
Right.
be all right."
Right.
That's good bedside manner. How the fuck am I supposed to know?
Yeah. She's like, ask your doctor. I go, all right. And then she goes, she hands me this packet thing, very thin. You know, it looks like maybe moist towelettes thing, like what you get, you know, after lobster, whatever. And so she hands it to me, doesn't say anything. I'm looking at it to see what it is. And then she goes, just wipe first. I'm like, so maybe you have had this question before. And that's a really gross way of talking to
Yeah.
me. Just wipe first. You know, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Wow.
So I'm like, all right. And then I'm like, left the urine for you in the bathroom. Bye. What the fuck is going on? Then I go to the actual doctor's office. The reception, there's like 3 receptionists there. So sweet. You know, now we're like, we see them every day. It's like, hey, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. This one woman's like, oh my God, I love your hair. And I'm like, thank you so much. She's like, I really want to comb it. And I was like, I dare you to comb it. And she goes, I will. And I go, fine. I'm going to see how you do. We were just back and forth, but we're cracking up. At least that one is like,
Oh, that's good.
yeah.
Well, the desk people have to deal with people.
Yeah.
I find it like some of them, if you joke with them, they find it refreshing.
Yes.
Because they're in just such a monotony of like, fill this out. Let me see your license. Let me see your health insurance. Like they're in that.
You're
So
right.
if you jab them a little bit, they kind of like wake up out of this coma that they're in.
It's true because I've been trying to joke with everybody because everybody looks at me so morbid, you know, especially after they know it's like football size and they can't believe I'm walking around, like all the shit. They look at me like that,
Right.
even in the hospital. So I try to make light all the time. And you're right, the receptionists, the people at the desk, the biggest response, like they get the most at ease. I just thought it was funny that like people want to comb my hair. Anyway,
I think it's really funny to be like, who should I bet this week? You're like, why would I know? It's like, you have a football in your chest. Okay? So why don't you fucking tell me who to bet on this week, all right? Maybe that's a side project for you.
I like that. You know what, Keith? I'm entering your pool with yeah, I think I'm going to win. Now, this is the most football-related anything I've had. Oh, another thing at the blood...
If you don't win every tie, that league's not playing fair.
by default. Another thing that while she's doing my EKG, which is basically like me laying down with stickers on me and wires, it's really super quick. She's like, how old are you? I say 40. She goes, oh, I so don't want to turn 40.
Oh, my God. That's great. That's really fantastic. That's really good. You got to just give it. I mean, you're saying that she doesn't have a sense of humor? She's awesome. That's great. I'm dreading it. Shit, you might as well be dead.
This is a different person. It's the whole office.
40, ugh.
Yeah. And I go, and I know what people want to hear when they say dumb fucking shit. Like, I don't care if I'm 40. I don't care if I'm 100. So just fucking take my EKG. And then I go, you have a long ways to go. I didn't even look at her. Who gives a shit? I don't know how old you are. And I'm like, I go, you have a long ways to go. And she's like, well, I'm turning 30 this year. Oh my God. I can't, I'm panicking. And I'm like, it'll be fine. I think people panic before they hit 30, but once you hit like your mid-30s, you don't give a fuck anymore. She wasn't listening to me.
Right.
Meanwhile, you're not hooked up to an EKG. You're hooked up to Snapchat because she's like, I'm 29.
Right.
This is what I do.
I'm not old like you yet. People don't realize they're being cunty.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, ugh. So anyway, that's
hilariously insensitive.
Yeah.
It really is. Especially the other one, too. It doesn't matter to me. It's like, what is this?
Are you sure? Because I was.
Are you part of this hospital? Are you just independently walking around?
I don't live with you. What do I care?
I just don't know why she thought I was just telling her I was on my period. Oh, you don't care. I was going to ask you out after this, but that settles that.
Is your car low on gas? I mean, what other information are you going to give me?
Well, there's all these tests and all this stuff led to now I actually know what's about to happen.
Okay.
So yesterday I actually said what kind of procedure I will have. Today, after the show when I got home, I get a call from a 212 number, which always I'm just like, please, I don't want to fucking pick this up. And I always do because I know it's the doctor. So it's the doctor's RN, who's the one that's been in touch with us. And he's like, okay, I have a date. Could you check to see if this is good for you? And I'm like, no, you were supposed to like look things up and blah, blah, blah. I'm used to waiting a week between things. And then by the time that week comes, I'm like, let's do this already. Because I'm like, well, how come it takes everyone so long? So I'm waiting for that week buffer.
Right.
And then all of a sudden he gave me the date.
Ma'am, it's very arbitrary, and we just felt like doing this one faster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He gave me the date, asked me if it worked. I said, yeah. No, not that one.
Right.
I have a manicure. Can you get a bunch of specialists together any other day to open me up? Yeah. I'm sure the anesthesiologist will be available. And so he tells me the date, and then we work it out. Hennessy's all right with it. And then straight he goes to the bathroom, which is his version of throwing up or something. I don't know. I think I don't know what was going on with him, but I was like, oh, no, he went to the bathroom as soon as I know the date. Because all of a sudden, my head is just like, oh, fuck. This is real.
Yeah.
Holy shit. And then I do bad things like, I picture myself like laying down like wide open with all my things. And I'm like, no. And I have to pee. So I'm just thinking like, and I can't pay attention. Libby and Xerxes are over my house. They're saying shit. I'm like, what? What are you saying? I can't listen. Hennessy's in the bathroom, so I can't like, just kind of, I don't know. It was bugging me out. He gets out of the bathroom. I'm like, all I need to do is pee. I'll feel less uncomfortable. As soon as I get in there and shut the door, I'm hyperventilating. I'm crying. I'm just like, well, I'm not losing my breath, but I'm just like, and I'm like, is that the sound of my breathing?
Yeah.
What the hell is going on? I'm just like, but I could breathe. And then I'm like, can I calm down? And I'm like, yes, I can. And then I'm like, and then I start picturing it. I'm like, oh my God, oh my God. And so it's so weird because I can't tell how long that lasted. It was either 10 minutes or 30 minutes. I have no idea. But I was like, I'm going to go for a walk by myself. I took 2 steps. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm going to sit out here. No, I'm not. I'm just going to like talk to everyone. No, I'm not. And so I just sat down. I smoked the fat one. And it went like a wave. So as quickly as it came on, it suddenly stopped. And I was like, okay. Surgery's in 2 weeks.
Then it was
Let's
just
do
all
this.
about potato chips after that.
How did you know?
No, but do you ever? I'm sure you're having this now, where you go to the doctor, and like I went for a colonoscopy a couple years ago, and it's just like you're laying on the thing, and you realize you're just a bag of tissues and bones attached to a brain that just overthinks everything. Like your thoughts are just fleeting, and you're just a bag of tissue.
I've thought weird shit. Like I've been biking, and until before this, when you have aerobic exercise, your heart starts. You can kind of feel your heart in your chest because
Right.
it's going extra. Now when I do that, I'm like, why can I feel my heart? That's so weird. That's so weird. So now I'm picturing it like that means that my heart feels like bigger, smaller. But now I could feel it more, and I'm like, no, don't get bigger. Don't make the heart go like that because it's right by my tumor. I'm pushing on it.
Right.
So all this weird stuff, like how I'm gonna, or I push on my side and I'm like, did I just push my tumor? What's wrong with me? But you can't do any of that stuff.
No.
None of that stuff is actually happening.
Right, it's your thoughts.
Yeah.
Your thoughts can screw you. Just like the hypochondria stuff. It's like if you focus on the germs that are invading your body, like if you really focus on it, you will physically get sick.
You'll never kiss anyone again.
No.
What are you doing putting your tongue on someone?
Yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
No.
Let
me.
alone other places.
Yeah.
I washed my face right after.
That solves it. You live in such a simple world. Keith.
Somehow I washed my face and we got rid of hunger. I didn't say that. I'm just saying it can't hurt.
It can't hurt.
That's all.
So my surgery is October 3rd, which is a Monday.
Is there going to be a live podcast from your surgery?
I don't think I haven't thought about it.
A live surgical. They do the theaters where you can watch.
I asked
Why not podcast from there?
it to be taped.
Really?
And, yeah, my brother wants to watch it.
And then a team of comics will make hilarious observations.
You know what I do want to do? I'm not joking. Next week, if my brain could wrap my mind around getting ready for being out of work for a little bit and catching up and whatever, all that stuff, I really want to have a say goodbye to my tumor / open mic next week, like right before. What do you think?
That's great.
Like Friday or
Yeah.
something. Because I love all my friends and how talented they are, and it's like I get to see this beautiful show and then go under.
How about a roast of the tumor?
That's a great idea. That's really great.
And then you bring up
Tumor
everybody
roast.
else's diseases on the dais.
Yeah. That's really brilliant.
Johnny's herpes keeps
Yeah.
coming back,
Yeah.
unlike his career.
That's great. That's fantastic.
I
Good
see.
idea.
We know what Keith is going to do for his 3 to 5 minutes. I haven't decided yet. So that's when the date is, and the significance of that date, October 3rd, is that it's a day after Emmy's birthday, which is important because that's exactly 2 months till my birthday. So
I was like, what? And then reverse that, and 5 over 3, and my birthday's in November. Don't forget.
My birthday month.
So what I'm going to do is, because I will be in the hospital for a week, the day before I go into the hospital, we will be recording a show, and Libby will be the guest. And then after that, for the week, Libby will be co-hosting in my seat. And then we're going to get some co-hosts to fill in, I think, for 3 to 4 weeks. And I will probably listen live from the hospital or something like that. But I hope you guys subscribe so that you could see and, how this goes along with me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's kind of like a weird situation, but I think it's going to be fun.
Well, there's
And I want to thank Libby because she's around, this has been a little bit easier for me because we know that we're going to get the news and then I have to go into the hospital. So we knew that she was going to cover the first week the whole time. So Thanks, Libby.
there's a reverse What's My Name, another one where Chemda is interviewed by Libby. The MRI results and the husband. In this episode, we discuss Chemda's mixed emotions about the latest results, realizations about how she's been coping, and how the tumor has been affecting her relationship. Ooh, juicy. In the second half of the episode, we hear from her husband, Hennessy, and how he's been dealing with the diagnosis. Ah, poor guy.
It is. I think so.
Who has it worse?
I think it's the same.
Yeah.
I think it's at least the same. Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to be under, and he's going to be pacing for 6 hours.
Well, you got those drugs to look forward to. At least
Right.
that's good. You got those Michael Jackson surgical sleep drugs.
And then what happened with those?
Yeah, well,
It was a good ride. But I have to be in at 6. The operation starts at 8. It's 6 hours. I thought it would be way longer. I don't know why that came up right there.
The tumor. You can blame everything on the tumor.
Probably.
But it came out with no problem. So that's the good news.
Yeah.
Totally.
All right.
From now on, you just walk around with samples of urine and blood.
Right.
Just giving them to people. Here you go. Nice to meet you. Instead, boom, here you go.
With my Vistaprint card.
With your Vistaprint card.
Do what you want. Don't expect it to be drug-free.
Here's all of my fluids.
You know what's funny
Feel free to investigate.
I was going to go to get my blood drawn, and I'm just like, you think if I smoke weed this morning, there'll be more weed in my urine? And I was like, oh, no, there's 30 days of, I can't cover it for 30 days. Might as well smoke. Here we go.
You have 29 more days to smoke, and then it gets out of your system on that 30th day.
That's right. I'm going to detox.
But even if you're super active, even if you do hot yoga,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, does weed leave your system faster?
Even if you wash your face.
If you wash all your genitals.
Well, I'll tell you who's having it well. We go from who has it tough, who's having. What were we gonna say?
You know what? I'm going to ask you a couple questions
Here
right
we
now.
go. The tables have turned.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have been so fucking weird about this.
About your surgery.
In the whole thing. You've been very... If I was anybody else, you would ask a whole bunch of follow-up questions.
I have no fault. You answered every question.
And
Here's what's going on.
You are...
I'll tell you what's happening.
I can't tell if you're bugged out or you're checked out.
Here's what's happening. Neither. I understand the gravity of the situation.
I don't think you do.
I know. You also think it doesn't matter if you wash off dirt from your arm.
That's not what I said.
Now listen. You have friends around you that are crybabies. So they're crying all the time. And then you don't see me crying all the time. So you think that must mean I don't care because you know your friends cares.
Nope. Nope, not at all.
No, it is. You just don't see it. I'm like a therapist right now.
Oh.
It affects him internally? Is that what you're saying?
Sure.
How so?
The military guy.
Because I care. What do you mean, how so? I care. I hope you're well.
He's maybe thinking the positive. Is it going to work out for the best? That's what I think. What I think when you told me about it, I'm like, this is a great situation because it's compact and they'll be able to just remove it. Then you'll be able to heal.
You're not my business partner. I was talking to my business partner about what we do once
why don't
I'm
I
in
go
the
fuck
hospital.
myself then? Jesus. This just became confrontational. I'll just be here in the corner.
You don't see what I mean?
No. You're one of these, you have all these layers of empathy. It doesn't mean that I don't care, but...
No, I'm not looking for you to comfort me. I'm looking for us to talk about it outside of the show so that we could...
Well, you're acting like you start to talk about it and I try not to.
Yeah.
And that's not true at all. This is news.
It shouldn't be.
Well, it is.
I've brought it up before. So
and what do I do? I just run?
You go, we'll talk about it when it's time. And I'm like, it's time. It's time.
That's
it's
not
time.
true.
I
This is
cannot
not true.
go any faster than this because I'm about to go under.
This is not true. This happened. What you're referring to is when this happened once, and
Nope,
you
it
said
happened more than once.
Okay, it didn't. So anyway, you brought up that you're going to need chemo, and I said, well, we don't know if it's chemo yet. And you said it's going to be chemo one way or the other, and then I went,
No, I said I'm going to have a procedure one way or another within a day or two to a month, right, or a couple weeks, depending. And we need to talk about what happens when I'm out because I'm going to be out for a while, whether it's chemo or not.
And you would bring this up a couple times. I just say, forget it. I don't believe it.
You said, wait until we know what it is. And I said, I need to plan it. And you said, I think that you didn't, I don't know what you said exactly, but you're like, I think that you're getting ahead of yourself. And I said, I need to get ahead of this. Some businesses have 5-year plans. I'm asking for 2 weeks.
And this kept happening.
It happened more than once.
Right. I don't know what to say. I don't think so.
Have you thought of what's happening while I'm in the hospital?
I know what's happening.
What's happening?
There's going to be a co-host taking your space.
Who came up with that and who executed it?
You did.
But I was asking you to participate, and you said, let's wait. But if I waited any longer...
I disagree. Mike, you happy now?
Yeah, I'm glad I got you guys going at it. Wow.
Yeah. I care for your tumor.
That's the problem. You got to care for me.
I wasn't listening.
I'm removing the tumor.
Oh, no.
You don't care for the tumor.
I don't care for the tumor, I meant.
Oh, shit, I had you all wrong.
All right.
Apologies.
Well, the bright side is he could get a job at the hospital.
Dude, just being like, it's not such a big deal.
Son, what are you doing?
What?
Doesn't matter to me if you're on your period. No one cares.
No, we'll do these shows with another co-host. I will cry every show. And it'll
Keith, are you an emotional guy or no?
I'm an emotional...
Let's make it clear. I'm not asking for emotions. I'm asking for business here.
Separate question.
Okay, thank you.
I think I'm an emotional guy.
Are you?
Not a fruitcake.
All right.
You know.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a masculine thing.
Right.
Because just some guys are more emotional than their guys.
Yeah, I think
some guys wear it on their sleeve. Other guys, don't crack it all. Like these Irish guys, like a lot of these Irish guys, they just they muscle up, and then when they drink, they get fucking super emotional.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it takes that to bring it out of them.
Yeah, Buckcherry, I was crying like a baby.
Were you?
Man, they got these songs. I love the cocaine. I love the cocaine. And I'm like, I just start weeping. Puts everything together. Yeah, sure, I'm emotional. I think I need more facts for you to see my emotion. Do you know? Like, let's say we're talking about Chemda's tumor.
Mm-hmm.
And if it seems like I'm not being emotional, it's because, I'd like to know the next step.
Right.
More than
your logic overrides your emotion.
Yes.
I understand that.
Thank you.
That's very, I hate to keep bringing up your military background, but that's really...
What military background? He did 2 years in the Army and then dropped out before his 4 years.
That's not true. I hate when she says this.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. You
it
signed
never
up for 2 years and it
registers.
was them that was wrong. I apologize again. That's 2.
It's indicative of that, though. It's like you can't get caught up in your emotion. You have to go to the next thing, in order for survival. I always admired that. Guys who could do that, could keep their poise and go from one thing to another. See, the way I was raised, going back to my therapy now, is my father was like a crisis man. He would flip out over everything. You know what I mean? So it would and nothing got done. Nothing got solved that way. So it's good. I admire the guys who could put their emotions aside, just problem solve their way out of a situation.
That's me.
I'd like to, you're good on an island or a Survivor kind of situation.
That's
where
right.
it's like you just go to the next. What's that movie? It's called The Edge with Anthony Hopkins, where him and Alec Baldwin, their plane crashes,
right.
and Alec Baldwin's freaking out because he's a cokehead, whatever, and Anthony Hopkins just goes, "Okay, we need to establish which way is north. We need to build a fire before sundown." It's like he just goes through the steps. It doesn't even I'm sure it phased him, but he just keeps going through the steps of survival.
I would be like that in thought, but I don't know how to start fires or anything like that. So
Yeah, but you would figure it out. That's the problem-solving mechanism that you have. I'm trying to compliment you here, bro.
No, I'm taking it. I wouldn't be crying like a sissy. Again,
No,
not
you
a
would be
master.
crying. You'd be like, I can't believe. I would be like, I can't believe I'm in this situation. This situation sucks. This is the worst. It's like, all right, we're here. This is what it is. And now let's try to build a fire. Let's figure out where we can get food, shelter. It's like you start going through the process.
That's right. In
But I'm saying he didn't do that. Am I high?
Probably.
I'm saying he didn't do that.
In this
Does
situation.
everybody-
Me and Mike are talking.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. We're
That's
done.
3.
We happen to be done now.
No.
Yeah, that is a good point. You did say that. That was your point. I was off on a different.
Mike's just saying everybody's right here.
You're right.
Guys, I'm a peacemaker.
He goes, I see your point. I see your point. My work is done. It's that easy. All right. Chemda, look. You're upset at something. But you're also, we also just learned you're on your period.
Oh.
Does that affect you? The period, like that, can you feel your? Because I've had girlfriends where they're on their period, it's.
Do you guys know what PMS stands for?
Get the fuck out.
Do you really sincerely?
Premenstrual.
Syndrome.
Premenstrual syndrome.
What's the first word of that?
Pre.
Okay. So I'm not a bitch anymore. Yesterday I was.
Yeah.
But today, this is just plain talking.
Yeah, but there's
wait a
phases
second.
of it
So
where it gets
right
where it's premenstrual, which is bitchy, and then it becomes women become very sensitive
Right.
during a certain phase of
If
it.
yesterday was premenstrual syndrome, then today is menstrual syndrome.
Right.
So take that.
That's a
in.
good point.
Sarcasm is a big thing during menstrual syndrome.
Were you not sarcastic first?
You're the best. No,
I hope other people can hear and explain this.
they can. So thank you, people, for doing that.
Sarcasm.
I mean, thank you, people.
Me too.
KeithandTheGirl.com/VIP. You know it's our VIP service, but check this out. KeithandTheGirl.com/free VIP. Stephanie said, hey, I want everybody to know about this VIP service, and for one reason or another, if you don't have it yet, let me give it to you, and gave away 10 VIP memberships. And then Landfair says, this is a great idea. You just gave 10 out. I'm going to give another 10 out. So go to KeithandTheGirl.com/VIP. Hear every show we ever did. Hear the first time Mike Vecchione was on. And hear, just get it all. Just get it all. Okay? Okay?
All right.
Okay, thank you. Holy shit. All right. The website for Mike is MikeVecchione.com. VECCHIONE.com.
At Comic Mike V on Twitter.
That's right. You see all the thoughts, what's going on, right? What's the last thought you had?
I'll be at the Stress Factory tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. headlining.
There you have it. So check that out.
Yeah.
What day is that?
I'll be doing it Thursday.
Thursday.
Tomorrow.
Get a time machine, see it.
This is not going to be released.
What are you doing next Thursday, let's say?
Next Thursday, I'll be in Korea.
All right.
So go on down the Korea. If you enlist now, you will have a chance to see the way wars are going. They do boot camp in the air, in the airplane.
Are you going with anyone you know?
No.
No?
This guy from L.A., I think somebody from Atlanta. No one I know.
Is that usual? I thought
I've never done one of these before, so I have no idea. I'm just going to try to prepare the best I can.
Did they give you a list of what to bring?
Yeah. Well, not what to bring, of the itinerary.
And
Even
what
though
to
I kinda
expect
don't
or anything
understand.
like that?
A little bit of what to expect. So
Did
I don't know
anything
how it
stand
goes well.
out that was like?
No, it's just
weird?
you're on the bases, so it's like they're just responsible for your accommodation on the bases. In order to go out and explore, you have to really make your own accommodations. That's the one thing that stuck out with me. They don't
What do you
really.
mean?
You're on the bases to perform for the
Yeah.
troops, and outside of that, they kind of are like.
If you die, that's on you.
No, you're good. You know what I mean? They take care of you that way. But it's like I'm going to Korea not to stay on an American base.
Oh, so you will have time to.
Well, I mean, the shows are at night, so like during the day, I'd like to go see Korea.
Oh wow!
You know what
So
I
are
mean?
you doing research and stuff?
No, I mean, there's 2 other guys going, so
Like,
hopefully
do you
they're cool.
Do you
and-
speak
Hopefully
Japanese?
they did
No,
it.
I don't do any of it.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
hopefully we can team up and go see some cool stuff, and I don't know, explore. I mean, I'm gonna ask questions, to like try to get off and go, explore. I don't really have a plan.
That's amazing. For 2 weeks, you're gonna really
For
get
2 weeks,
to
but
see so
we're
much.
bouncing around the different bases, the different, what I mean? So we
Wow.
have a few days here, a few days there, Japan and Korea. So
Holy wow!
yeah,
And even if you know all of Mike's material, he switches it up.
yes,
And you don't know the
I
order.
don't follow it, dude. I'm
Right.
not Buckcherry, bro.
That's right.
Will you be like signing your set list and giving it out at the end?
Yes, my CDs, Muscle
should-
Confusion, by the way, available on iTunes.
Mm-hmm.
You should hold a drumstick the whole time, and then at the end just throw it out like, woo!
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I signed that. You're welcome.
Yeah, I think what stand-up one year, I brought out a guitar, and then I did the act, and then broke the guitar.
That's great.
That's it.
That's great.
People came in late. They're confused.
That's what sells now.
It really does.
You know?
They like action.
Like action.
I say action and then comedy.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
what-
Controversy.
Right.
Action, controversy. Jokes are last. Jokes are just words.
That's
Well-
very therapeutic.
A lot to think about this weekend.
Oh yeah.
All right, Chemda.
Yes.
I like you. All right.
Oh,
All
thanks.
right, I'll look into whatever the fuck you're talking about.
Thank you.
You're welcome.